Now, I think when it comes to Amy Jo Johnson, I think we all know that she is pretty much passionate about Power Rangers as well as the fans are as well. So if you don't know who Amy Jo Johnson is, for those of you who are very new to the channel, she is an actress who is known for playing Kimberly A. Hart, the Pink Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So now she's jumped onto the comic scene. Her and her boyfriend have been working on this project since forever. So now that everything is slowly coming together, they're gonna probably give the fans something that they can forever cherish about her book, her version, her take on the story. And honestly, I'm interested to know how the Power Rangers feel about it. I mean, how the Power Rangers fans feel about it, because I think most of the time these actors sometimes can be real dicks to like fans or whatever though, but as long as they are respectful towards the actors and not treat them as if they're their property or whatever though, but you get the point. So it says, what if the original team never separated? Peak Power Ranger actress brings new vision of the original Power Rangers to Kickstarter exclusive. Now, mind you, I'm not the biggest fan of Kickstarter, to be honest with you. They're like the worst company to try to promote your book, video games, or whatever, but it depends on how well they pretty much accomplish their goals by reaching the highest numbers. So that way they can just get the money's worth and just get the book going. So let's get in collaboration with the Hasbro and Boom Studios. Amy Jo Johnson, the actress behind the original Pink Ranger Kimberly Ann Hart, is bringing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Return to Kickstarter. The readers receive a preview of what's to come in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 30th anniversary special comic, which set up the core idea of the very from the 90s TV show by having all original members stay with the group. Now readers have their first opportunity to support this book at the launch of its Kickstarter campaign officially begins, giving fans a chance to reserve the copy of the series ahead of publication. The direct reserve campaign will be online for 30 days, and supporters will have access to extra perks like a new edition of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink and other limited edition collectibles. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers The Return is by Amy Jo Johnson, as well as other people that have been working on this book, is set to release February 7th, 2024. Additional cover art by Garner Monteith, Dan Mora, Justine, I cannot pronounce his last name, among others. Alternate universe, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers defeated Rita Repulsa and Lower Zed, but at a terrible cause, and in the wake of that tragedy, the team went their separate ways. 22 years later, the long disbanded team reunites to mourn the loss of beloved friends, but Zach and Billy have some unexpected information to share. Jason the Red Ranger, who has long been operating as a lone vigilante, has disappeared. Will the remaining Rangers be able to track him down, especially with a mysterious figure in pursuit? Now, this part is really interesting because Jason has always been my favorite Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and the fact that he became a vigilante, almost like as a mystery person going on a heist, it's really interesting. So I'm curious to know how all of that is going to play out in the series. Amy Jo Johnson's return to the Power Rangers franchise sees her examining an alternate universe in which no Ranger led the original team. Rather than Jason, Trini, and Zach leaving for the peace conference, as on TV show, that was one of the worst ideas ever, they make use of their teleportation devices to keep protecting Angel Grove. What follows is the Rangers living their best lives, defeating Zed and Rita in the process, but not without suffering an unforeseen tragedy. 22 years later, a long disbanded team must come together for a new mission, and fans learn how their lives went differently due to their initial decisions to remain a unit. Ooh, this is interesting. Now, I can respect Amy Jo Johnson for just cooking us something for next year, honoring 30 years of Power Rangers. This is really interesting, and I love what the story is actually going. So I guess we could just read this little preview right here. I know I can't change what happened. Trina replies, what do we do now? So this is them actually looking at the command center. Zonon and Alpha 5 are killed, unfortunately. Some nice artwork, I love it. The comic is part of the 30th anniversary celebration of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV show and is described as a love letter to fans. Expressing excitement for the project, Amy Jo Johnson says, "It's an incredible exciting to partner with my boyfriend Matt Hassan as we set our offer to our own interpretation of the Power Rangers. What if the original team had never separated? Where would they be 30 years later?" This comic book is our affectionate tribute to an entire generation, and we genuinely hope it does justice to the legacy that means so much to all of you. The story comes to life through Nigo's Leon's artistry has been the most thrilling part of creating this comic book. Neon's childhood love for the show adds a special layer to the project as he infuses his incredible artistic talent and incorporates intricate Easter eggs and details throughout. We couldn't be more aesthetic with the results. As the actress behind the original Pink Ranger, I'm stepping into the world of the comic books and unleashing my creative vision with a what-if story that reimagines the enduring bond of the original Power Rangers. With this project, we're eager to offer fans a nostalgic yet fresh perspective on these beloved characters while creating a whole new adventure. What if the original Power Rangers had never parted ways? Where would they be 30 years later? This comic is our what if scenario and my heartfelt love letter to the entire generation that has kept these characters alive for 30 years. Wow. It's the fact that she's actually paying tribute to the Power Rangers, even though at one point in the 90s she actually left Power Rangers during season 3 when she wanted to just go and film other projects. But it's the fact that when she said that the fans kept the legacy of these original characters alive 30 years later, but in real life 2 of the most iconic Rangers died. 3 trained in the late J.C. David Frank. And also, by next week, I think on the 20th, I'm gonna be doing a tribute to J.C. David Frank as I go live, drawing a picture of him to honor the legacy of the character that portrayed Tommy Oliver. Based on the previous teasers and what readers know about the synopsis, this story is shaping up to be a fresh examination of classic characters that stays true to the original show's aesthetics and history while also feeling mature. There have been many versions of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, but nothing beats the originals. That's what they all say. And it would be fascinating to see what Amy Jo Johnson does with the franchise she helped define for the entire generation. Looks, by the way, I'm not the biggest fan of how Tommy looks. He looks like a girl. But I'm just saying though, but it's a nice art by the way though, but it's just something I'm not a big fan of. So it's good that she's actually doing this for the fans, because I think that's what the fans wanted all this time. And I support her all the way. I'm glad that she's actually doing this. And yeah, what y'all thoughts on this? Will you buy the book come next year? Let me know in the comments.